Alright, so welcome back, guys, or welcome if this your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm be talking about the most anticipated thing for The Walking Dead when it comes back, and that is who will make up Alpha's border wall. So I'm going to run down my top 12 picks of who I think will be on the border wall, plus a bonus 13th person, so stick around for that. And as always, if The Walking Dead is something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way don't miss any more Walking Dead content from me in the future. Now let's begin. Starting off of Alexandria, I'm going to pick Scott. Now Scott's been with us since the beginning of season 6. And I think this is about his time to go. He's a C-level character. He's a supporting character. He doesn't really do much. He has a few lines here and there. Most big fans will probably recognize him and know who he is. The average fan who doesn't pay attention to this stuff will kind of recognize him and sort of, get the feel for the character. But I honestly feel like this is his time to go. I feel like he's been on the show for a while, and there's not much more they could do with him other than just, have him stand around. I think this would be a perfect person to take a death like this. Next, from Alexandria, we got Savior DJ. Now, DJ has kind of become more of a screen iconic character this season. He's got more lines, he's got more screen time, and I just feel like it's a perfect storm for things to happen to a character that sets up his death. Even prior to the time skip, he was getting more things to do with Jed and with everything going on at the camp. And then we have the time skip. He becomes one of Michonne's top lieutenants alongside Sadiq. So I just feel like it's a perfect lineup for everything to happen. And I actually really like the actor who plays him, but I still think he's going to get this death because I feel like it's just a perfect way to have this character go out. You got this tough savior guy, and he's now joined our good guys, and then at the end, it's a crushing blow to the character that he ends up this way after becoming redeemed and everything like that. Next, we're going to talk about the council, because this is an interesting one, because as we know, right as it stands right now, Michonne doesn't want to go to the fair. She is against it, and she is kind of become isolated. Now, we got the council here. So my prediction is eventually they'll vote, they'll decide to go with everything going on. They feel like they need to support the kingdom and everything like that. So, given that, let's look at the council people. I think Sadiq is safe. I think Aaron's safe due to what happened with Jesus. And then Father Gabriel's probably a 50-50. He could go, he could stay. I feel like he's more likely to survive. Michonne's 100% going to survive this. Laura, I feel like she could die, but I really hope she doesn't. I feel like Laura is a very interesting and cool character. I love the character and the actress, and I just really hope they keep her around for a tad bit longer. I feel like there's some good stuff they could use with her. She could end up taking up Comic Dwight's story if you want my opinion. And then there's these two people on the end. You got Nora, who's next to Sadiq. She was the woman who went to Michonne regarding Negan not eating, and then you got this unknown man at the other end. Now, from what we see of casting, I feel like there's a new character showing up this second half that kind of resembles this guy, so I feel like they might build up either Nora or this unknown guy to become a C-level character and take a death at the border wall. Moving on over to the Hilltop, I'm going to start off saying Tara. Now, I know there's fans out there who are saying Tara's safe, she's a new leader of Hilltop. I'm going to say no. First off, I already made a whole new video a couple weeks ago regarding Daryl being the new leader of Hilltop. And recently, Denai Guerrero was on the Late Night with Fallon, and they showed a clip of the upcoming episode 9. And it's really hitting strong that Daryl's going to be the new leader of Hilltop. So with that being said, I feel like Tara doesn't really have a purpose and point right now. And I feel like her character's been around since season 4. She's done a lot of stuff. She's gotten a good amount of screen time. And I feel like this is her time. I feel like it's surprising she's survived this long. And I know fans are kind of sick and tired of her. My one worry with this death is I feel like the show might get major backlash from the LGBT community. Now, I'm all for representation. and I always agree with that. But I feel like with losing Jesus this season and then losing Tara, I feel like the whole bury your gays trope in the LGBT community will come out in droves and start like making all this BS stuff against The Walking Dead and everything like that. So for that reason, I'm a little nervous, but I'm still gonna say Tara should take this step and go out at the end of the season. Next, we got Alden. Now, I know fans are out there saying, but he's Comic Dante. And I'm going to say no, he's not Comic Dante. First off, he's with Enid. And second, I feel like there's an easy way to introduce Dante by saying him and Eduardo, since we haven't seen Eduardo either this season, and I heard rumors we won't see him at all this season. I think an easy way to do this is say that him and Eduardo are out on with Maggie as her security detail while she's with Georgie. So that's an easy thing to do there. But back to Alden, he hasn't really done much. He's kind of just been there. He's a B-level character. And I feel like killing him off will give Enid more screen time, which she's been lacking this season, and more things to do. During the Whisperer War, she could have an arc similar to Sasha and Rosita, and I feel like killing off Alden is just a good idea. Give Enid more screen time. Next, we got Cal. Now, I feel like Cal is someone who should go out this season. He outlived his comic counterpart who died during All Out War. He's a C-level character. He doesn't really do much, and I feel like having one of the guards go out would be an interesting thing to do, show how comfortable the Hilltop has become. And I feel like he's just dead weight. He doesn't do much. He's just kind of standing around. Again, we need familiar faces, and I feel like fans of the TV show like us, not the average fan, will at least know and recognize the character. And I feel like he's a character that could go out this season as one of the heads. I feel like there's not much else they can do with him, and I just feel like it's his time. He's been around since season 6. He's gotten a good, decent amount of screen time for a C-level character, and I just think it'd be the right time and right thing to do to have him be one of the heads at the end of the season. Next, we got Tammy Rose. Now, I feel like Tammy is one of those characters that is definitely going out this season. I feel like they already set the stepping stones for her to take this step. She's got a good amount of screen time. She's going to get more in the second half. She's gotten a lot of lines. Again, like DJ, it's just a perfect storm of everything coming together for this character to take a death. And I feel like her death would also push Earl in a good way to make him want to make more weapons to help our communities combat this new threat. And I feel like it'll give him just enough drive to fight the Whisperers as maybe two. And I feel like just her death makes sense. And I feel like it just will help progress the story and just push our Earl in a good way to help our survivors combat this new threat. And I'm just interested to see where it takes Earl, possibly in season 10. Next, we got Rodney. Now, he's one of the new kids at the Hilltop that was hanging out with Henry. Now, I feel like one of the 3 kids in that episode is going to go out. One or maybe 2 of them, that other girl might go out too. I feel like Gage is safe. I feel like he's going to be the TV counterpart to Brandon Rose. So I think he's safe, but I feel like 1 or 2 of these characters is going to go out, and I'm picking him just because I feel like he's an easy pick. I don't know. I feel like the other girl could go out, but it's a 50-50 shot. And I just feel like the kids have had it safe. They've had it good here. And it's just going to be a wake-up call to them as to, they need to be more on the lookout and protect themselves more. Again, I feel like Hilltop has become kind of soft, and I feel like this is something that's going to wake them up and make them fight back against this big threat coming up. Next, we got Magnus Group, and from Magnus Group, I'm going to say Kelly goes out. We need someone from Magnus Group to go out so Magnus Group gets involved and stays. So I'm going to pick Kelly. I know fans are saying Luke from the comics, but I feel like since Luke has a popular actor, they might want to cash in on that and keep him around longer. Kelly, on the other hand, I just don't have any connection to the character. I know fans will say, but she's the sister. She's the only one who knows sign language, so that'll hurt Connie. But the other characters do know sign language from her group, and I feel like killing off the sister opens up some interesting doorways to develop Connie more. And I feel like killing off Kelly just makes a little more sense than Luke. I feel like he's become a new fan favorite like Jerry. And I just feel like his death makes her death makes a little more sense and just opens up more ways to develop Connie a little bit more. So for that reason, that's why I think she will go out this season and not Luke. Next, we got Oceanside. Now, I know there's been a big debate whether Oceanside is still around after a second time jump. Now, due to promotional things with the whole choose your side, they've shown Oceanside in one of the banners or flags, so it's still around. Now, for Oceanside, I feel like it's a 50-50 for any character from there. I feel like Cindy could go out since her character is going to be the new main on the new Pretty Little Liars spinoff. I feel like the little girl could go out too. And then there's Beatrice. I feel like again, this is for the characters, not us. So I feel like she has better chance to go out. We know the other two more, so it's more familiar faces that we know, and Beatrice isn't a familiar face. So I just feel like she is more apt to go get killed off and be a head on a pike. And I just feel like it's a reason to get Oceanside involved and more into the story than they were in the comics. And I just want to see more from this group. Moving on over to the Kingdom, I'm going to say Diane. Now, I feel like Diane has gotten a good amount of stuff to do over the past 2.5 seasons. She's formed good bonds with Morgan and Maggie, and I just feel like it's her time to go. She's a C-level character. She's gotten a good amount of screen time, good amount of stuff to do, and I feel like she's a character that big TV or big Walking Dead fans will recognize, plus TV only fans that aren't big on, going on and checking out this stuff. So I feel like she's a character that could be good to recognize, and I've just a recognizable face for the border wall, and for that reason I think it's her time to go. Now last, I'm gonna say Jerry. Now I know fans are probably gonna say I'm crazy or whatever. Now I feel like Jerry's gonna replace Ezekiel on this border wall, kind of how I feel like Tara's gonna replace Rosita, and I feel like killing off Ezekiel, first off, we haven't got much from him this season so far. We probably will get more in the second half. But I feel like Ezekiel should live on. I feel like we've lost so many leaders this season. Losing Ezekiel too is just like a punch in the gut. Like, really? And I feel like Jerry's just this fun-loving character. If you remember back to the Negan death, they killed off the heart of the group in Glenn. When you think back to the Negan death, you remember Glenn more than Abraham. No offense to any Abraham fans, but I feel like Glenn was the heart of the group, and we needed a crushing blow at that point, and Glenn was that death. And I feel like Jerry here is that crushing death. He's the fun-loving guy. He's a fan favorite, and I feel like that's gonna hit us fans in the gut as well as the characters on the show. Plus, I feel like he has gotten a good amount of screen time. Plus, there's some rumors that with casting, I feel like Nabila, his wife, they're going to give more stuff to her. They're introducing her kids. So I feel like killing off him gives them more screen time and more stuff to do. And I'm interested to see what could happen with the show killing off a character like this. Now last, we got my bonus death I mentioned earlier. Now this probably has a 25% chance of happening or less, but I'm going to say someone from Georgie's group or Georgie herself could end up on that wall. Now I know what fans are thinking. A lot of fans are saying Georgie's group is the TV introduction to the Commonwealth from the comics. I do not believe that. And I feel like, now we don't know where Georgie's group is. We don't know where they are. So this could be plausible to happen. And I feel like it could be an easy way to bring Maggie back into the story. Georgie's death causes her to come back, finding out that this happened to the rest of our group, and makes her stay. Now, depending on what happens with Whiskey Cavalier, we don't know if we're getting her back. I really hope that show tanks and she does come back. But I feel like this has a 25 or less % chance of happening. So yeah, guys, those are my picks for who will make up Alpha's border wall. Let me know your own predictions in the comment section down below. And as always, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell icon. That way don't miss any more Walking Dead content from me in the future. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.